Hello, you're welcome to a new video. Today we are looking at human existential dimensions, and we are going to look at physical dimension, mental dimensions, and some of the challenging aspects of these different other dimensions. Basically, we are going to start with the physical dimension. So when you look at the human body under the microscope, this is what you see. Like, for example, this is the brain, part of the brain. This is how the lungs look like. These are muscles. This is the mass of the heart. This is the intestine. This is the bone. But all these, they're just chemicals. They're just chemicals. It's just chemistry, and the human body is basically a big part of carbon, big part of hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. And these elements, they form 96% of the human body. Let's head to another dimension. We are going to the mental dimension. The mental dimension is almost synonymous with the brain. However, when they say the mental dimension, they are usually referring to higher cerebral functions. And when you look at higher cerebral functions, you would first wonder why they call them higher. It is because comparative anatomy studies, when they harvest the brain of different animals, this is how it just looks like. So this part that is shown in purple and part of it red, this part right here is a bit common to several animals like the human brain, the monkey brain, the brain of a cat, the goose. This part right here, the one in purple, it's referred to as the brainstem, and this is just a very basic part. So these other functions to be called higher, it's because they are right up here. This is where the magic happens. So these other animals which just have the most basic part, it is just for breathing, heart rate, to make sure they're just surviving, but they're not processing much of the information. That's why they call them higher cerebral functions. They happen up in the brain. These higher cerebral functions, there is like consciousness. This is like the fact that someone is aware of the self, of himself or herself, and even the surroundings. There is being oriented to time, place, to person. There is memory. This can be long-term memory. This can be short-term. There is intelligence, which is ability to acquire knowledge, reasoning, solving problems. There is language. There is ability to perform learned tasks like putting on clothes, eating. This is what you call praxis. And there's also executive functions like planning, judgment, impulse control, like to be able to control your emotions and the like. All these are higher cerebral functions. We are going to look at the relevance of this in the video later. Then we go to the emotional dimension. When you talk about emotions in the human being, it is mostly a combination of these two. There is just the structure part of it, which is a part of the brain also. They refer to it as the limbic system, including like this part, amygdala. It is the part that is very active when you are angry, but also emotions have the chemistry part of it, which are the hormones. And there are hormones, some of them are hormones, others are neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are like just chemicals that mediate the electricity in the brain. So this dopamine, most of you already know it. It's a happiness hormone or neurotransmitter. And there is also oxytocin, like this is mostly the bonding neurotransmitter. If you would refer to it, it's not a neurotransmitter, but it works as a hormone. It is in bonding, like bonding the mother to the baby who was born, but also between people who love each other. This is the emotional dimension. If you look at this, everything you have said is tangible so far. So let's look at the most debated dimension and the one that really needs attention. We are going back the days, we are in 1983. And on the 21st of October, it was the 36th World Health Assembly. So they were discussing about the spiritual dimension. So we are going to find that it has been not easy in that meeting. And when you see this document, uh, the spiritual dimension, they were trying to establish a framework on the spiritual dimension, to define it, to create something concrete. Uh, so let's focus on the second definition. They said the word spiritual has been interacted in a wide variety of ways, especially using dictionaries. However, it got different meanings. Like they they they, they didn't agree on the what exactly should the word spiritual mean. So like here it was they use using dictionaries. They were saying it is that which is not corporeal, in other words, that which is not belonging to the body or is not material. And meanings, different meanings are given, that which is related to the soul or to religion, that which is related not to the physical senses, not to the external actions, but to the intellect, like uh, all the higher faculties of the mind, or to higher moral qualities. But what to pay attention here is the fact of they are referring to ideas, like they are referring to spirituality as a higher form of ideas or higher functions of the mind. But when you move to the third definition they established back in the day, they say that all these meanings, all those different discrepancies, they have a common denominator, which is defining spirituality as that which is not material in nature, but belongs to the realm of ideas that have arisen in the minds of human beings, particularly ennobling ideas. So, what to take from here is that using these definitions, we are constantly bringing up the realm of ideas, the minds of human beings, and those two words of ideas and also minds, they're referring to material things, they're referring to substance, they're referring to matter. And this, you cannot use something like this, which is tangible, to refer to a spiritual thing. So if these these definitions, they cause problems, because if you are using the term ideas are generated by the mind, and it is psychiatrists who say, like in psychiatry they say the mind or the psyche, it is kind of also referring to the brain. So this ends up making spirituality a tangible dimension, which is not. Uh, so if we keep using these definitions, human beings are going to be referred to as substances themselves. They are going to become matter. They are going to become just like dust. So, because as we have seen before, the substances that make earth or elements, they're the same substances that make human beings, just carbon, everything. So there will be no difference between human beings and dust and even other animals. So in that sense, human beings will be something close to this, will be something close to just an arrangement of food, uh, thanks to our DNA. And this is not a concrete way to approach spirituality. All right. But the whole point of this video is that human life is not just molecules. You cannot look at the human being and then equate a person to molecules just because of the lack of concrete definitions to give human beings the appropriate value they deserve. Thank you for being with us in this video. If you like this kind of content, please feel free to like, to share, to subscribe, and also feel free to leave a comment if you would suggest a topic we'll tackle in the future. Kindly put it in the comment section below.